gang, we're getting ready to head back. Okay, so here's what's happening so far. We've been hunting all morning, no luck. Again, we got Noble Kelly. He's going to watch us through the setup. He's interested in seeing what we do back there. So Noble's going to be watching us. We're going to put the turkey decoys in place, and then we're going to try to call some not deer, listen to me, some turkey in later. And we're going to see if we can have some luck. Let me show Noble something real quick here. I'm going to show Noble a secret here that he's never seen before. We'll hold this rock. Now watch this, people. Anyway, you want to see this too out there. This is called a turkey call. And this is how you call the turkeys in with the hens. So watch this, Noble. You hold your tip about at about a 30 to 60 degree angle, and you go, wow. Just a little bit. So that makes a sound of a hen. So let Ra try it. So here, Ra, you were doing better than me. We're new at this, believe it or not. That's what we're trying to tell you. We're out there doing this kind of stuff, and this is new to us. We haven't done it. So watch this. So watch Ra do it. Oops, he can hold on to it. That's what the hen sounds like. When the hen's calling, the gobbler, that's what a hen sounds like. Do it again, bro. That's about the sound that comes out of her. And then the gobbler hears it, and then he comes looking for it.
No.
It's about
the Bay Bridge.
family, friends.
Yeah.
It's about fellowship.
Crabman. So we're on the water. We're in the woods. And
The heart starts to pound, and you start to sweat a little bit.
And then I took the shot.
nature call.
He jumped. And
Nature call.
It's about making things interesting and fun.
Nature call. Welcome to WNC TV. I am Mike Rice. To my left,
Michael James Littleton Pops.
and to my right,
Taylor T. Swift Rice.
I guess we're going to do some talking about some turkey hunting. So, first time as a family hunting turkeys. I mean, you've hunted them before.
Only one time.
One time.
This was our second time for me.
Now, what did you expect? Were your expectations of it? I mean, were you excited about it? Explain your experience.
Well, I got to tell you, folks, it was quite interesting. I'd say as a group, we all matured very much. We tried to do what we were taught. We tried to learn and read on the subject and the matter of hunting turkeys. And we tried to find out where they were nesting. We tried to find out where they were feeding. We tried to find out their travel areas, right? We had things on video. And it was quite a challenge. We had a lot of good times, Taylor. As you know, you were out there with us. And Mike, we tried hunting from ground blinds, from in between patches of woods and brush. We tried hunting from a tree stand. We tried walking and calling. And we did some interesting stuff, right?
Yeah,
And
we had a
some
great
fun.
time. We did. Taylor, describe your experience.
Well, for my first time turkey hunting with you nice gentlemen, it was a new experience. At first, I had no idea we were all going to be in the same food plot together, and then once you told me, I was actually really excited because it just brought us much closer together.
Mm-hmm.
It was a new experience. On the very first day we tried it, Dad and I were just sitting in the brush, just trying to sit still as much as possible, and then
That didn't work out so well.
No.
So let me tell you that story. So we're sitting there, and on these food plots, we took all the brush out before creating them. And so we have this old brush, twigs, and down trees that we put into a barrier so when we're walking into the food plot, we don't get seen. Well, anyway, so we sat up in front of that, and when you make a barrier of old leaves, and I mean, it's like, what, 8 feet tall, you're gonna have some animals up in there. And Taylor and I'm sitting there on the left side, she's on the right side, we're both on the ground, we're not in a blind, and I have this, probably an 8-foot black snake. And if you don't, I am deathly scared of snakes. I hopped up, I didn't scream, but I hopped up and I said, Taylor, get over here, you come sit here, I'm not sitting here anymore. So she comes over and sits.
Oh, what a
I
what
didn't see
a!
any trace of a snake.
Taylor doesn't, she's not terrified of snakes.
You send the poor daughter into the.
She's
Oh,
tougher
my
than
goodness.
me when it comes to snakes. Yes. So go on. We got to hunt a good amount for turkey.
Yeah.
We were down there a couple days.
Yeah.
We had some interesting activity with a fox.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh man, that first day, we were sitting still, and to have a fox that close and that come up to you, and it was trying to attack the decoys we had set out. We had 2 hens. One was looking for food. One was just resting, and then we had that Tom with his full fan out.
Yeah.
And so the fox had come in thinking he was going to get a quick meal, and just to have a fox come up that close, that really says something about
Well,
your scent
it was
control.
interesting
Yeah,
in the
It was
sense
very
that
interesting.
I was from up inside a tree stand. They were on the ground.
Yeah.
Picture this: you have Taylor over here, like she is right now. You have Michael where I am on the ground, and then you have me in a tree stand up about 15 feet. And I'm not going to shoot. I've already decided I'm not shooting, but I'm going to video and all. And I captured the fox. He ran in between us all and started to storm the turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going at the decoys.
And right,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, his sense of smell and all came into play, and he picked them two
Picked
up.
her up.
And then he panicked, and it was
Ran
funny.
back towards
Yeah.
me, then sees
So
me,
me, yeah.
and then takes off the other. Yeah, that was. A
It
good
was quite
experience.
interesting. It was quite interesting, and nevertheless, it was an interesting thing.
Yeah, that
The
was
fox took off eventually. He wanted a turkey meal,
Oh,
but
yeah.
none of us got
He
anything
didn't
No.
get
at that
anything
time.
though.
But so we tried a lot of. And then we went back and we tried different things. We went and got back more decoys,
Got more decoys.
calls.
and then calls.
Well, on that particular day, we all got up and we decided,
Yeah.
well, here's what we're going to do. So we knew where they were roosting, and we knew where they were eating, and we were in that area. And
Yeah.
we didn't have any success. We were calling. We heard some gobbles.
heard 'em.
We saw a tall Tom across the field, and he looked into us, and he was watching us. He was watching our decoys, and he was looking at the area. And these two were beautifully camouflaged. They were blending in. But let me tell you something about a turkey. A turkey has some of the best eyes of any animal out there. A turkey can see you blink at 50 yards. If you blink, watch my eye. They can see that, a blink of an eye from 50 yards. I mean,
Yep.
that's amazing. That's amazing. So just think how still you got to be, and just think of the challenge. But what did we do, folks? We got up.
Yeah.
We decided to go into the woods as a group.
Just stop.
We were doing a call.
Well, yeah, you had got information. You were talking to one of your buddies at work.
Very successful.
Yes,
turkey
very
hunter.
successful turkey hunter, and he gave you this suggestion to use also. And so what did we do?
So, as a group, we decided we were bringing the decoys with us. We were hauling the decoys. Michael had the call at first, right?
Yep.
And we would walk, and we'd walk about 30, 40, 50 yards very quietly, not too much noise, but not perfectly quiet. And we would give the call. And we would listen to see if there was anything. Now, the idea behind this was if we give a call, a hen call, and a turkey gobbler would answer, then the person that was going to shoot, the shooter, was going to stay where they were at.
Yep.
Myself and Michael, or whoever, or if it was going to be Taylor shooting, or if it was Michael, we were going to drop back 20, 30 yards, because now you want to get in between that hunter and the turkey, and they want them out there. We want to get further back, and we want to make another call, and that way the turkey will come towards that
Yep.
hunter, and then coming after us, thinking we're moving away from them, and that'll draw the turkey in.
And I mean, we've heard them.
We heard some hens.
Yes, we just couldn't get them in.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
We got some hen calls. Remember that? We
Yep.
were walking, and we got some hens
Yep.
responding back to us, but not a gobbler.
And this was our first day.
First time. We walked how long? We probably walked a mile that. Do you
Yeah.
think we walked a mile or something?
All
Might
over.
have
Walking,
been 2
stopping,
miles, something
calling.
like that, yeah.
But that was fun. I mean,
That
I
was
had
fun.
Yeah,
Good exercise.
good exercise. It wasn't too hot. The second time we
No,
went
it was
out,
the shade that
we had better luck. You went out with Rara, and then Taylor and I took the right side.
Rob Rod's one of my grandsons.
Yes,
one of my
Rodney
grandsons.
Sterry,
Rod,
yep.
Little Rod Sterry. Wonderful little hunter.
Yep.
We were together.
yep.
You and Taylor were together.
You guys were on the left food plot. We were on the right you started seeing them. They were coming in.
Well, first we hunted in the morning, if you remember.
Oh, that's right.
We hunted in the morning
Yep.
separately. We were further into the woods, and nobody was seeing anything, I don't
No.
think. You didn't see anything, we didn't see anything. We were making calls, doing things, and Ra and I moved at least 2 times.
Yeah.
And we didn't get any luck, and you know, we didn't even get any calls or anything. All we saw was squirrels and saw some deer.
Yeah.
Foxes, but no turkey. But then it was later in the evening, if you recall.
Yes. And then that's when you guys, and then they came over to us
Yeah.
after they left you guys, but they were females. So during, I guess this is what the spring season is what they call it for the turkey hunt. Why can we not shoot females?
Well, first of all, from what I gather, it's the breeding time. It's
Yeah,
a prime breeding time,
absolutely.
and then they nest. And so the idea is the toms are out there looking for these hens actively, just similar to the rut of a buck with the does. And so they're out there. You get this possibility of calling them in, and what you don't want to do is shoot hens. As one, because it's illegal, but two, they're going to be nesting. They're going to
Correct.
be having eggs and more, you know, little baby turkeys, man. And you know, we're talking about the population. So.
Yeah, so in Maryland, there is no female turkey hunting in the hens in the spring. Now, the next is in January, it's
Yes.
the winter season.
Yeah.
And we can shoot either or.
And bringing up
Absolutely.
this part
Well,
of the
one of each, yeah.
subject, that night, the second hunt, we saw hens.
Oh,
we
yeah.
we got hens to come in.
Yeah.
We've got video of it. I think
Yep.
we're going to have someone to show. The hens came in individually. They came, one came to you, 1 or 2 came to us.
Yep.
And they came around. They were interested. They were checking out our decoys. They were checking out our calls. But of course, you can't shoot a hen. But it was fun to video them.
Oh, yeah,
and see
'cause
how
we
they
had-
reacted. You know?
We had one out there. Geez, oh man, she was out there for what, 40 minutes? She
Oh,
dug a
yeah.
hole and just sat in it.
She loved what you planted in that food plot.
She just sat in the hole. She dug a hole after she ate and just sat in the hole. And
I would have liked to have seen it. I
yeah,
didn't
we
get
got
to
it
see
on video.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was awesome. What adjustments would you guys make for next year?
Well, what do you think, Tay?
Definitely, absolutely, we should use a ground blind more. Just because when we were in the food plot, you know, there was a lot of brush and stuff like that. But having that ground blind gives us more camouflage, and
Absolutely.
it
Yeah.
gives us a better view. Because when we're sitting in a chair in a
Yeah.
ground blind, you know, we're a little higher up, so we can see more instead of being in the ground and you know, you're almost looking up and stuff like that. For me, to be honest with you, even though I had an early season mask on, having my hair rub against my neck, and I'm sure every other female hunter knows this, having your hair rub against your neck is just, I mean, you're bound to sweat more. So for me personally, I probably will try to use Hardwell face paint. It still provides you camouflage and stuff like that, but it doesn't, you know, you can have your hair in a ponytail and then have a hat on, a baseball cap, whatever kind of hat you want. And that way, you know, your neck can breathe.
Right.
Unless
that
you
makes
have
sense.
short hair, but
Good idea.
Definitely
Well,
try to
obviously,
face paint.
Michael, you didn't have that problem
Nope.
with the hair rubbing your neck.
No.
So I don't think that's going to be one of your challenges.
Just
but what do you
sunburn
think?
on the back of my neck. I think I might try to do a little bow hunting with it instead of, I mean, we took out the shotguns, and but I think I might give it a try with bow hunting. Definitely the ground blinds.
Yeah. Bug
I would, yeah, well, bug spray with the no scent.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, the mosquitoes got bad. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you one thing we absolutely did that we did a little wrong that we learned was
What?
we went out too late.
Oh,
The season started.
in April, like
It
early
was
mid-April.
April 15th, 17th,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Absolutely.
We did not go hunting until May.
yeah, but see, we're like
I mean,
everybody else. We have full-time jobs.
We have, and
you know,
this is
that's
one of the
the-
challenges.
9 to
Yeah.
5, yep.
This
Yep.
is this is we're learning just and this is what you'll appreciate. We're part of the same fabric that we're talking to our audience, and we appreciate you so much. And please give us feedback. But we are out there learning, and
Yeah.
we got full-time
Absolutely.
jobs. We work 40, 50 hours a week at our job, sometimes 60, and we've got to be able to squeeze in on a Saturday. Now, one thing I think you found out later that there was actually Sunday hunting in our county.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well,
We
it came
weren't
in
was.
later. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. We couldn't. Oh no. Was it the whole time we could do it?
Okay, so in the first half, from when it starts in April to like the 1st of May, you can hunt from 1/2 hour before sunrise to noon. And then later on, it's all day. Now, you said later, like, oh, Sundays, yes.
Yeah,
So
Sundays.
Sundays. as long as you are on private land in our county that we hunt in, you can hunt on Sundays.
Yeah, and you have to
Absolutely.
look up these.
Yeah.
You got to look up these regulations.
Yes.
Don't take for granted anything we're telling you.
No.
Believe me, we're beginners, but
Yeah.
we're absolutely paying attention and we're reading. But always do yourself a favor: look up the regulations and make sure you understand. We are on private land. We're very privileged to have that opportunity to hunt that land. But as she's saying, on public land and on private land, there's different rules. And of course, there's no baiting turkeys.
Yeah,
You know, we
okay.
have natural food
Yeah.
plots that they go through,
Yep.
and we're allowed to hunt them, but you can't bait a turkey
Can't
either.
put
So
corn out, any
can't-
added, yep, nothing. Any other suggestions? Any
Well-
other ideas that you might try for next year?
I think that we'll pay a little even more attention to where they're roosting. It's very critical,
Yes.
the roosting area,
Absolutely.
because what I was reading about, what I'm learning from these really good hunters that are getting turkeys, they go out and they get close to that roosting area, and they call at the break of dawn, real early, really early, right at the break of dawn when they're allowed to hunt, officially legally hunt. They start calling, and then they'll only make a call or two, and they'll try to get that gobbler to respond. And you know, we didn't quite do that as much, but we did do some early calling. But I'm saying, and then you learn also that the season changes, right?
Correct.
At first, you can only hunt till noon.
Yes.
But then later on into the season, and I
You
don't
can
remember
hunt
the
all day.
exact date, you're
Yeah.
allowed to actually hunt all day. And then you got to figure out, well, what are they doing in all day? Is the morning they're coming out of the roost, they're actively seeking hens. In the afternoon, sure, they're going to still look for hens, but they're going to want some food source too.
Yeah, because we
Absolutely.
came back, what did we do? Come back to work on the food plot. We hunted
Yeah,
the morning.
that was around
And then we
noon.
came back in the
Yeah,
afternoon
remember
and
that?
we spooked.
A
huge-
huge monster.
huge
turkey.
I
Tom.
think you had 2 or 3 of them
Yeah.
one time in the
Yeah.
field with
And
you
it was
guys.
like 1 o'clock.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. Man.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy? And was that legal time to hunt that day? Or
No.
was that
No,
we
not
couldn't.
that
No, see,
day.
you
Nope.
couldn't. See, that's our luck. We couldn't hunt
Nope.
past noon on that
Yeah.
particular.
So, do you think when the season comes back around in January, do you think you're going to hunt turkey in January?
You know, I absolutely would like to try again. I mean, I see a lot of turkey late season. The deer hunting's winding down.
Yeah.
But I love hunting the whitetail so much that, you know, gosh, I like to hunt to that last day. You know, if it's
Yeah.
January 31st, and I don't like to interfere with anything else in between. It's difficult to make that decision, but I guess it will depend on how we do this year. Probably, you know, I don't know. I really just don't know. I think I will.
Play it by ear, I guess. Taylor,
Absolutely.
what are the main differences between turkey hunting and whitetail hunting, would you say?
Well, as you know, for whitetail hunting, we usually hunt out of a 18 to 20 foot blind, or I'm sorry, deer stand. And what, as Pop-Up said earlier, whitetail, they have incredible sense of smell, incredible hearing, incredible eyesight. Turkeys, however, their eyesight is impeccable too, and so is their hearing. Now, their sense of smell, it's not the greatest.
It's not the greatest,
So
absolutely.
that's why at nighttime we typically wouldn't see our turkeys moving, so we didn't really hunt that much at nighttime. But
When
another
you say nighttime, you mean the evening hunt.
evening
Yeah,
hunt.
of course.
My
She doesn't.
bad.
You don't mean
No nighttime.
when it's dark.
No,
She
No.
means the
That's what I
afternoon hunt.
meant,
We call
evening
that.
time.
Typically, we call that the evening hunts, just so no one gets that confused.
Right. But another main difference is how we do it. And obviously the seasons, of course. When we're hunting whitetail, you know, we don't have to worry about bugs. We don't have to worry about hot temperatures.
Well, unless you hunt in September.
Yeah, unless you hunt in
It
September.
could be. It
Yeah.
could
in
be
that
that.
early season.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And just the overall nature of it. You know, when you're whitetail hunting, we're usually separate. You know, one of us is in one area, another is another area, and then, you know, so on. But turkey hunting, we were able to hunt together and actually learn together. We were able
Which
to
was fun.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
was
another
really
thing we
fun.
all experienced as a team, it was amazing to see how the canopy, and when I'm talking about the
Oh,
canopy,
yeah.
the leaves, right? The
Yeah.
leaves and the trees.
absolutely.
You'll be amazed. You'll be out in the woods in the beginning of the season. We were out, but we weren't hunting yet, right before the season of turkey started.
Yes.
And you could see, it seemed like forever. It was amazing. You
Yeah.
could see 60, 70, 80, 100 yards out because all the leaves were gone. Nothing had really started to blossom yet. But Jiminy Crickets, when that blossoming plant
Of the flowers.
started to
Like
occur.
April 1st almost.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. You would be amazed that the limbs on the trees dropped several feet. Not inches and all, we're talking feet. they'll be, as the leaves start to come out and the foliage comes out, the limbs start to drop and the canopy drops. And if you're elevated, whatever, you'll be amazed that you can't see through the woods.
Yeah.
You have to be down. You know, that's one of the reasons for hunting turkey on the ground too, which makes sense. But it's amazing unless you're hunting a field or a food plot, of course.
Yeah. No, we had a good time. We definitely had a good time. Well, why don't we take a break for a second, and we'll be right back.
Okay, hey, thanks. Hey, go get yourself a drink.
Yep.
Come on back and join us. We really appreciate y'all. What we were taught. We tried to learn and read on the subject and the matter of hunting turkeys.
Yep.
And we would walk, and we'd walk about 30, 40, 50 yards very quietly, not give the call. And now the idea behind this was if we give a call, a hen call, and a turkey gobbler would answer, then the person that was going to shoot, the shooter, was going to stay where they were at.
Yep.
Myself and Michael, or whoever, or if it was going to be Taylor shooting, or if it was Michael, we were going to drop. It was quite a challenge. It was quite a challenge.
It's May 2nd, Thursday. It's extremely warm. It's like 75 degrees right now. We're out here turkey hunting on the eastern shore of Maryland. I was over there with Day a minute ago, but then I had to change because I had a huge snake come rolling up on me. I am deathly afraid of snakes. There's nothing in this world that scares me except for snakes. I don't know why. I'm just deathly scared of snakes. So anyways, I moved over here. We're sitting on the food plot. We got decoys out. But in Maryland, for the spring turkey hunt, we can only hunt till noon. So we have about an hour left. And then we're gonna put some seed down in the food plot. We've got turkeys coming in, but we're here over the weekend for a day. And anyways, I thought I heard some gobbles. We were over here the weekend, and we go on until noon. We came back to work on the other food plot, like 12:45. We had about 7 turkeys out here. Beautiful turkeys. Guess that's our luck. So, we'll see.
a straight shot from the decoys. First time around, we saw 2 turkeys. That was a very good day, but they weren't shooters. The second day, it was just Dad and I, and it was way too hot. It was like 72 degrees or 80 degrees, something like that, and there was hardly any wind. So the humidity was crazy. And but today is going to be a nice day. We're hoping to see some turkeys today. Yeah. Wish us luck.
Taylor, what are we doing today?
We are turkey hunting on the Eastern Shore property in the Wright Food Plot. This is our first time doing it in a ground blind. Let's see. The weather's pretty nice. It's not too hot. It's actually really cool.
What's today's date?
Today's the 9th of May. We have a tom decoy, we have a Jake, and we also have a hen.
We're sitting on a food plot with clover, chicory. It's got some apple trees, but then we have Antler King's red zone out there with some soybeans. We just planted it. We got some soybeans coming up. Looks like some buckwheat. We have corn planted out there also, but we just planted that last week, so I'm not sure. On the other food plot, we got nice corn coming in. But yeah, we're in a nice ground blind today. I like it better
No, it's definitely better.
than hunting on the ground. I think it's funny. When we got here this morning, we heard the deer. We heard the turkey. Gobbling. We were hoping that they would come out here, but I think they went back to roost.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come out before noon. In Maryland, you're only allowed to, in spring turkey season, when you're allowed to hunt till noon. So, we're just gonna keep drying here. It's killing us. I haven't seen any turkey today. Well, we'll see.
else, but of course.
Jeez, oh man, she was out there for what, 40 minutes? She
Oh,
dug a
yeah.
hole and just sat in it.
She loved what you planted in that food plot.
She just sat in the hole. She dug a hole after she ate and just sat.
Here we are down at the Caroline property, trying to get us a turkey. We got Rodney Sterry. It's about 6:30 in the morning. We've heard some hens calling or another hunter. We're looking around. We had a doe come up behind us. What do you think, Rob? It's really thick down here, ain't it?
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff growing.
We just killed a hornet's nest that was in the top of our blind. Luckily we didn't get stung. Let me show you the decoys down here if you can see them.
Well, no turkey today. Unfortunately.
Well, we're kind of giving up here for now. Ryan and I have been hunting for 4 or 5 hours. Haven't seen any turkey. It's about 10:30. We're gonna go down and maybe go back to the trailer. And what do you think, Rob?
I think that's good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So he's gonna climb down. I'm gonna hand the weapons down to him. He's getting ready to get down out of the tree stand.
Well, I just picked up my pizza. Nobody's home. It was at my mother-in-law's house for Mother's Day. I was just with my father-in-law hunting turkey. So, picking up my pizza, heading home. Drive for 2.5 hours to see female turkeys. Couldn't get a Jake, couldn't get anything to come in. Just the females. But we got 1 week left, and then it's over. And we gotta wait for deer. Deer season coming in September. So Taylor and I are gonna go out turkey hunting this coming Thursday. One Shot Pops, as he calls himself, can't go hunting next Saturday. He's got a wedding to go to. I doubt I'll be able to go down and go hunting on Saturday, so Thursday will probably be our last day. If I can get Taylor to go. We'll see. But it's been a fun year. Turkey hunting's fun. It's a lot of fun. So, learned a lot this year.
Yes, you don't be nervous.
Hey folks, how you doing? This is One Shot Pops down at the Noble Kelly Farm. We're smoking Mike Rice. We're having a good day here. I sent him up here to do this because most likely the tree will fall, the stand will fall now. And it's always best that your son-in-law gets hurt rather than you, you know? It's a fact of life. You gotta look out for number one. Wah, that's me. What the, oh my, so Mike, you did a hell of a job. Look at that, my God. Look at the smiley face you made on the tree.
I know.
What's he doing? This is usually, get a picture of this. This is very important right now. 60-year-old pop worked this morning for 6 hours at work. He got up at 3 in the morning, went to work from 4 to 9 o'clock. It's 5 hours. Then I'm down here, I'm doing all the climbing, all the disconnecting, all the sanding, all the installation. And my wonderful, incredible son-in-law is over there, and track him down, look at him. He's over there playing around, picking up leaves maybe. Might be smoking a cigarette in the woods. That's a really good thing. So guaranteed that the deer will smell that. But, you know, this is our typical hunting adventures. Me, the laborer, the old man, and him, enjoyment of my work.
The world is my platform. Woo! I will perform.
Welcome back to WNC TV. I got Mike Pops One Shot Littleton and Taylor the College Girl Rice. So let's talk about some hunting properties. We have a couple. Our main one down on the eastern shore of Maryland.
230 acres,
We got
Caroline County.
some crops, and then we got about 115 something of woods, something similar to that.
That land's divided up into approximately 100, 115, 110 acres of woods, about 120, 100 or so acres of field that, of course, crops are planted on. And what's unique about the property, it has it all.
Yes.
It has water wrapped around the entire property. We have a stream that flows the whole outer exterior of the property, except, of course, where the roads are in the front. But, I mean, it's got water source everywhere. We have fields filled with, what else could a deer want?
Corn, soybeans, whatever he plants. this
Whatever he
year.
plants. And then you have the food plots.
Yep.
Then we have red and white oak
Yep.
and the acorns.
The acorns.
We have some types of berries that we don't even know what they are that are blossoming that they
Yeah.
come and eat. We've got it all in there. I mean, they've got pine and oak and everything. They've got bedding areas. They've got, I don't know, what else could they ask for?
Nah, I mean, they got everything.
Whole
Except to keep
buffet.
us out of the woods, stop bothering them.
Yeah, and then we have another, our property up in Cecil County
Right.
that we're restricting to just bow hunting up there. And I just put in a 1/4 acre of
You have 2 food plots, don't you?
I put in
Okay.
a 1/4 acre of corn in, and then we have the rest of it. It's clover. The clover field is beautiful. Whitetail Institution's clover is just phenomenal. And then so we got that. Up in Cecil County, we got some bucks. Nothing. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the same as the Eastern Shore, but I think in a couple years it'd be pretty close.
Absolutely.
And then we've been talking about, looking into some leases. Taylor and I have looked at a bunch of them, but we're trying to, make sure we have enough room to include the families. So we have, it's not just us 2 or, us 3. We have, my brother-in-law and my nephew, so we can get everybody out there hunting in the same spot.
And I think you have a property that I don't know if we're going to have success in obtaining it, but in Hartford, or is it Howard County?
Howard County.
You have some land that we might be able to bow hunt.
Yep. Still working on that one, which is
What we grab out of this, if you're listening, is don't give up.
no.
Go after property. Don't be afraid to talk to someone that owns land.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Be cordial, be kind, be, open, be real, and say to them, hey, look, is it a possibility that we can hunt your land? What would it take? and you know you may get a chance of getting that at that property for free. You may have to pay a fair amount of money, but
Correct.
it's what do you want to do too? Do you want? And look, also we're talking about hunting, and let's not get away from that. We're talking about fishing. We're talking about crab. But look, if you like the video, if you like to take pictures, it's just as much fun. The minute we started setting up cameras in the woods and we started seeing animals that we had no clue were on that property,
Yes.
it was amazing,
Yes.
wasn't it? I mean, there's deer and there's all kind of animals that are walking that property, foxes and different types of
Possums.
deers and
Yep,
possums and
raccoons.
raccoons. So many animals that all of a sudden you see them because you got the cameras out there. It's a lot of fun. So it isn't just about hunting. It's about anything. It's just taking those photos. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes, and we keep this year. We keep our cameras out all year round. This is the first year that we've done it. We went to a new camera system. You know, the Cuddy Back Link. You know,
And, yeah, but Michael's got a deer. This is very unusual, and this is very unusual. Michael's got a deer on camera that went through the entire season of the rut into the January, into to spring, and it still has antlers.
yes,
And
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
I'm amazed.
yes, and
It's
matter
not
of-
not much, right?
And
It's-
I thought the cameras were playing tricks with me. I didn't, you know, I thought he was in velvet and he already grew that big, but I saw him in person last week.
He's a big buck. He's a really big buck. We are
Yeah,
thinking
really
this
old,
deer is
too.
probably 7, 8 years old or something,
Yes.
really old. And there's an antler that's never falling off, and it's just this mass. And I'm not talking about a full set of antlers.
No.
We're talking
No,
about
just
one
one half,
side
yeah.
deformed, weird looking,
Yes.
extending out and dropping. But it's something that we would have never known
No.
could happen because the antlers are supposed to fall off.
Correct.
They're supposed to fall off and immediately start regenerating.
Yes, and with him, you know, we think he got into a fight about 3 years ago. That's when he really started showing up on camera, and he was already starting to be deformed. We think he got
Talking
into a
about the
fight.
antlers.
Yes, and all the experts say
Maybe hit by a car. We don't know. Maybe a
something,
vehicle. Maybe
fighting,
injured.
and then so when the antlers get injured, it can cause you know, them not to be able to grow back
And
or not to lose.
deformities, yeah.
Yes, the deformities.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's interesting. We're trying to get him off. We tried to
Yeah.
get him off last year. But this is the first time I've seen him in daylight. And the wife and I were outside, and I said, we got a buck out there in the food plot. And she's like, what? And we sneak up, and absolutely, he's sitting in the middle of the food plot eating the Whitetail Institution clover.
Wow, can you imagine that? A buck sitting in your. Now, was he really sitting, Mike?
No, he wouldn't.
I think he was probably standing, folks. He's got a. That's why him
Yeah.
and I, sometimes we have some problems here. But go ahead, tell the story, Mike.
Yeah, so he was out there, and I couldn't believe it. You just had left, and yeah, he's huge. I mean, probably the biggest.
He's over 200 pounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's probably 250, 230. He's a large
He's
deer.
huge.
Large
And
deer.
but then we had this. So he was up until last year. He was the big man on campus, and then
And he had a lot more antler growth.
Yes.
Now it's
Absolutely.
deteriorating. I
Yes.
think his age is finally.
getting to him.
It is.
And then
And
we
he's
had-
grayish looking. A lot of gray, doesn't
Yes,
he? A lot of gray.
Ton of gray.
of gray.
And then this year, you know, or last season, we had an 8-point come in, and beautiful 8-point. But he tore him up, and what do we call him?
You call him Mr. Ugly.
Oh.
I call him Mr. Oddball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But he got pushed out, and then he would wait until the 8-point would leave to come into the food plot and eat. Funny, but.
Funny. That's part of life.
And then so down on the Eastern Shore, you know, we're already looking at cameras and looking at pictures.
Jeez, hey folks, it's always something to do. I'm telling you, it depends on what you want to get out of this, but we've spent many hours in the woods, moving stands,
Absolutely.
changing stands, putting up new stands. You have to look if you're going to do this. You got to keep something in mind. So you got to keep safety in mind.
Yes.
We went out and checked tree stands, and we checked their integrity. Are they still good and solid? Have they rusted? Are they starting to rust? Are they? Because when your tree stands are mounted to the tree, and you've got that wind and that weather pushing them all the time, they're actually swaying and moving.
Yep.
It tests that structural integrity of that tree stand, and it can
Absolutely.
be bending just the slightest amount, but that fatigues the metal. And what I mean by fatiguing is it weakens it. It causes it to start to deform. and you could actually have serious accidents from not checking your tree stands.
Yeah.
And we move them. The idea behind tree stands, we move them every 2 years or so, and also not checking them, but we move them because deer will pattern you. Deer are smart.
Absolutely.
All the animals will pattern you. They'll get to know. It takes 1 or 2 times they catch you coming in or whatever. They'll say, hey, what's going on over there? And I'm telling you, it's real. And they'll start patterning you. They'll actually start looking in that direction to see if anyone's over there. So you have to move them 30 yards, 40 yards, 20 yards. Find a new place. Find a new place to put them.
And then with all the research that we've done and talking to experts, we actually came up with a decision that we were going to hunt predominantly the ones closest to the field and not going to the back of the property at the beginning
Of the season,
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
In the beginning of the season, we're going to hunt the food sources closer to the fields.
Yes.
Entry is quicker, exit's quicker. You can sneak in and out better. Later into the season, as the rut kicks in and all
Yeah.
that stuff, everything's open. We
Yeah,
have no idea where it's going to be.
Yep.
We'll tend to go wherever we see activity, scrapes and rubs and all the stuff that the sure telltale signs that, hey, these deer are moving in this area.
Well, and then also we, so you came up with, you found, or I think it was somebody you talked to, or you found it online about the mineral sites.
sites, yeah.
Yeah, and you found the ingredients.
Yes, we came up with some, we were given some information on how to come up with the same type of stuff that you'll see on TV advertised, where people are making, they're buying bags of minerals and they pour it on the ground and the deer come up and they start eating it and licking it and digging into the ground and so forth. We've concocted our own, and Mike is actually, I gave Mike an initial
Yep.
formula, but then Mike's doctored it.
Yes, I have.
He's,
I put
he's
brown
put
sugar
some-
and Kool-Aid.
And he's
Can
added,
you imagine that? We're
cherry
feeding
flavor.
our deer.
Cherry
I hope there's no
Kool-Aid.
dentists in the group, because if you're all listening, we're rotting our deer's teeth.
Yes.
We're
But
giving them brown sugar and Kool-Aid, but hey, they love it. You ought to see it. Tell them what's going on. Mike.
So well, it was trace mineral. It's like a cow. It's made for cattle, but the deer use it also, and then salt, and it's like 2-to-1 ratio. And then I happened to see a guy that added brown sugar and Kool-Aid because of the smell of Kool-Aid. You take off that lid and you pour it out on
And
the
you
ground. I mean,
instantly
it's just.
smell it.
I
Hey,
sat there and
the
wanted
cameras don't lie.
No.
The deer are coming to these mineral
Sites.
Oh, it's
sites
constant.
And
that
digging.
we created.
Yeah.
They don't lie.
No.
And they're digging, they're licking,
Yes.
they're fighting each other for the flavor. And as Mike and Tay could probably tell you, we're getting holes in the ground. They're
Yes.
digging holes in the
Absolutely.
ground where we've poured this mineral.
And see, what I try up in Cecil County, it's most of the time it's successful up there. But then if you try something different down on the eastern shore with those deer, it scares them.
Yeah.
And I was worried about doing that.
And what he's bringing up is actually factual. Deer, depending on the hunting activity, the population around them all, they're skittish. They're
Yes.
different. And these are all free roaming deer. They're not caged or anything. They're
No.
just living in the wild. And down in Cecil County, where Michael's at, when he does something, he gets away with more down there for
Yes.
some reason, or up there, how you want to describe it. But when we're over in Caroline County, if we change something
Yes.
in an area on the property, if we add a mineral, if we change and move a feeder or something like that, a gravity feeder, all of a sudden the deer will become non-existent for weeks.
Correct.
They disappear. And yet they could be coming in 5, 6, 10, 12 deer, and then all of a sudden, boom. So we have to be very cautious down on that property compared to the other one.
Absolutely.
The only time we get away with stuff is during the rut.
Yeah.
Right, believe it or not, and that sounds crazy, but right when the rut's coming in, all of a sudden the bucks are pushing the does around so much and they've lost their mind as it is, we get away with
Yeah.
stuff. You can almost walk in the woods singing sometimes and you still see a deer. It's crazy. It's
But I mean, up in Cecil, they got we have a bunch of cornfields,
Suburbs and all
but we
people,
have
yeah.
neighbors. I
Lots
mean,
of people,
Yeah,
more
and
people around.
they come across the street from their bedding area is across the street from our property. They come across the street, they come up our hill, go through our woods, get to the 2 food plots, and then they go right back. And
And he's got a group of dogs that let him know all the time.
yes,
They're not his dogs, but the
They're my
neighbors'
neighbors.
dogs.
Oh,
They'll
yeah.
start bowing and barking and all kind of stuff.
And then we
Mike
know the
can
deer
turn
coming.
to kids and,
Yep.
and Shannon and say, "Hey, here come the deer." And sure enough, they'll be
5
coming through
minutes
the woods.
later, they're coming across, walking right into the food plot.
It's amazing. And the deer are like, plus, there's another challenge. Michael and Tay have coyote
Yeah.
on their
Yes,
property.
we
We got
do.
you have like pictures, don't you?
Yeah, we have a couple.
This coyote on the property. That's not a good thing.
No.
Believe it or not.
And we had a chicken farmer across the street, and he got hit, 3 times this year.
And what he means by hit is the coyote.
Yeah, got
the
it.
chickens.
I think 6 of his the
6
first
to
time,
10,
2 of the
yeah.
second, and then he came out
Mm-hmm.
and scared him off before he got another one. But yeah, that's the first they've heard in a long time of coyote. But absolutely, and then the neighbors with the dogs have seen them.
Well, and I can tell you what's really interesting, and Tay, I think you can attest to this too, is Michael here has really worked hard at developing the food plots
Absolutely.
along
Yeah.
with Tay, and we have probably 4 food plots, I think it is now, 2 on each property, right?
Yes.
And they're very, very becoming very successful. Talk just a little bit about that stuff you guys have done, Mike.
So Taylor and I went down. Last year was a good learning experience. What we call the left food plot, that came in beautiful. I mean, we had all the. If you look at our Facebook page, the picture that's our profile, that's prints, hands, all the big bucks.
That's the
out.
name of deer
we had.
we've given them.
Yep.
All
names.
the big bucks are out in one.
By the way,
picture.
80's on my wall.
Yes,
Yeah.
he got 80 last year, which was beautiful.
Beautiful bow shot.
Oh.
I got them mounted. Beautiful deer.
Beautiful. So it's all. That one was good. The right side was very difficult.
It was
Giving you trouble.
underdeveloped, I
Yeah,
would
the
say, a little bit.
pH, trying to get that pH up was extremely hard. And it was
What's that mean, Mike? What's it mean trying to get the pH up?
So-
when somebody out there questioning, like now, hey, I want to do a food plot. What,
All right.
what
so
are you talking about?
If you plan on putting a food plot in the middle of the woods, we took down a lot of brush, that fallen trees, and we cleared it all out, made some berms, so we walk in, we're silent. But anyways, that nature, the decaying leaves, the decaying twigs and trees and
It
stuff.
creates a certain
Yeah,
soil, which is
extremely.
acidic,
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
It's acidic. It doesn't want to grow
no.
things.
And
So
you
talk
want
about it, Mike.
so you want to have your pH around a 6.5. to
And how'd you
7.
check it, Mike? Did you do a soil sample? Did you have a kit yourself? What did you do?
So Whitetail Institution, is main distributor of food plot seeds for deer. They have sample kit or sample. So you come out, you dig up all over. You take like 4.
Can anybody do this, Mike? Can they
Yes.
send them a sample or
Yes,
something? or-
absolutely. And
Wow,
it's like
go ahead.
you can actually order the tests on Amazon or their website, and you just go out. It's a little bag. You get a bucket. You go all over the site where you plan on planting, so you can get a mixture of the soil from all different locations, and then you put it in the bucket. You mix it around. You put it in a little
You
bag.
mix them all together?
Yep, you mix them all together because then there'll be little specks of one area, and So for each
Yeah.
food plot, we did a soil sample.
How many spots from each food plot? do
We
you know?
took 6 from each. Now the right food plot.
Now
was
you
the
kept
one-
the food plot separate, but the
Yes.
samples. But yet
Yes.
the samples within
Yeah.
the one food plot, say the right one, you mixed up.
Correct.
Then the food plot, you mixed it up. And same
that's
thing for
exactly
the
what we
Cecil
called
County
them.
property.
Yep.
And
And
then you sent it off.
Yes, and then you tell them when you fill out the form what you plan on planting. And we said clover, and then their chicory.
Turnips, chicory,
Yep,
whatever.
all
right?
their stuff.
Now, once you got your diagnosis done and they told you, hey, what was the most frequent thing that needed to be done? Because so these people are thinking, oh man, this is too much work.
No.
What was the toughest part to add to it? Was it not?
The hardest part would be the fertilization.
Yeah.
But when they send back the diagnostic of the sample, it tells you need to add this amount of lime. to the-
Lime. You heard that key
Lime,
factor.
yes.
Lime's very important, was it not?
Yes,
It
and-
neutralizes. What does it do, Mike?
Yeah, so it neutralizes. It brings the pH level up. Now it's going to take some years. This year the left food plot came in at 6.5, which is beautiful. So that's going to grow a lot better. The right one was still low, so we put.
Hey, folks, put this in your mind. It's just like checking a pool. If anybody out there has a pool and you go out and you take a water sample, you get a pH.
Yes.
And it's a certain color it registers. And if it's too acidic or too strong, you add a chemical to neutralize it.
Yes.
It's just same with the soil. It's just
Absolutely.
this easy.
Yep.
Takes work, a little bit of elbow grease, doing some stuff, tilling, putting out chemicals, putting out lime, but it's just like if you can check a pool and adjust your pH and air, you can do so with a food plot
Absolutely.
and grow your own clover,
Yep.
turnips, chicory, all the things that deer are going to want to eat.
Yeah.
Plus, on the Eastern Shore, our soil is a little different too.
Yeah. So if you look at the Cecil County, which is, you got clay in the bottom, but it's
Yeah.
beautiful brown dirt in the
little bit of
Eastern
rocks,
Shore is
It's like
sandy.
yeah.
And so that's easier to incorporate the lime into the soil just due to the fact that it's not so condensed and compacted. And
So
that,
where are we at with the right food plot now? What kind of pH you got, you said?
well, we added a ton, so I would
Yeah.
probably, after this year, we'd probably
5
be
point
at,
something.
we were at a 5.7 at the beginning,
Yeah.
and we added a ton of
And
lime.
you're trying to get to 6.5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, we put in clover, and then we have the
Red zone
The
or-
red zone.
yeah.
We used Antler King's red zone. We wanted to try that out this year, and the soybeans that are coming in, the sunflower seed, it's gorgeous. I mean,
And Michael planted and Tay planted a couple of apple trees.
Yep.
We actually, Michael and Tay
Absolutely.
planted, I don't know if it was 10 or 6, 12 or 6, but how many? We haven't had the greatest time, but
No.
3 or 4 of them survived.
and
right?
I'm gonna tell you,
Absolutely.
buying fruit trees online, and I'm not gonna name names, but I would not suggest doing it. We bought online, and then
You learn from this,
yes,
folks.
it did not work. So then I went
How
to
many trees we got actually grown, Mike?
3.
So
we
3
planted
out of
6. Yeah, out of 6.
6. So, okay, 50%. But
Yeah.
we got some apple trees grown, and they're beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Tay, what are you thinking?
I mean, from a year ago when we were just starting out on the food plots, you know, we were learning. It's a learning process with food plots and stuff like that. I think we had planted just a little bit early too. I would
For
say.
the turnips and
Yeah.
the all that, yes, we did, and that's
Yeah.
why we're waiting for the left one this year
Right.
until July 15th
Right.
to put them.
Yeah.
We're
And
gonna
then-
be strict on that.
Well,
Yeah.
as the stuff grew, but deer ate it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and we want that winter.
We want a crop for the winter, right,
Yeah.
Tay?
Absolutely.
What do you-
Yeah. Absolutely.
How much did you get involved with your dad? Because there was times I just couldn't be down there. I was working so many
Right.
hours. What,
Yeah,
No. Well, this time, I was on the 4-wheeler and I was just tilling it up and just making sure the ground's all level.
Yep.
Just kept going around in circles, grinding it all up, and then after the tiller, he would plant all the stuff that he was putting on, like the red zone, the clover.
What's a red zone?
so
Did
it-
people want to know what that is?
yeah, Antler King. We went with this side. We were trying on the right food plot. We were
Yeah.
trying the Antler King Red Zone. Now Whitetail Institution has a similar product. It's Pure Attraction, but we went with a Red Zone on this side, and it's got soybean, it's got sunflower, it's got buckwheat.
Stuff that I'll go through out
So
the whole season.
yeah, and what it does, the same thing with Pure Attraction. It all matures at a different time.
Oh,
so like
interesting.
yeah,
So you
the-
don't have to worry about that.
no,
Yeah.
and then so the deer will come in and eat, continuously.
So he was planting the stuff. You were
Yep.
doing the tilling. How did you know when to stop? I mean, just you'd stop and then he'd come in. Were you spreading it with a
Well-
hand spreader, Mike, or what were you doing?
Well, yeah, he would go around. He has this thing strapped to just his back right here, and then he would just hand spread it. And then after he was done spreading or would move on to another area, I would come in with a cultipacker
Cultipacker,
and
yep.
just push all that dirt down on it, just make sure it's really good. so
Yeah, the
no birds can get
cultipacker is
all of it.
for
yeah.
good seed soil contact.
Absolutely.
And it takes all the rocks and it pushes the rocks out of the way and it gets the clumps of dirt out of the way. It's great. You
Great.
have to. It's great.
So you
thing.
were very much involved.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
And did you ever do that before?
No, this is actually my first time,
Yep.
but it was a really fun experience. I learned a lot.
Hey, folks, look at our food plots.
Yeah.
As Mike was telling you, look at the deer standing in them. Mike, tell them again.
Yeah, I mean,
See,
look-
this is just regular folk doing this.
Yeah,
Oh,
go on
absolutely.
Facebook. Look at our profile picture and you'll see those boys are monsters. I
Look at
mean,
those
Yeah.
bucks, and one of them's on my wall, by
Yes.
the way, 80.
Yes,
A big
beautiful.
8-point.
Yeah. And then I
Yeah.
actually got one
Big
off the left
8-point.
food plot.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
hands. Yep.
And then you got hands.
Yeah.
Hands out of the food plot, absolutely.
yeah.
Well, Michael, I couldn't be happier with the evidence is the deer coming onto the property and all. The food plots absolutely have absolutely helped us. I need to grow. I need to grow more with handling cameras and doing stuff like that and all. But I think we're on the right track. We're having fun. We're doing
Yeah,
neat
well,
stuff.
that's the main point.
And folks, we've got so much that we didn't even do yet. We got tree stands we haven't even been able to get up.
Yeah.
But now we're into some crabbing and fishing. Things are going to change.
Yeah. And
I want to see more of the family members get involved in the videos and
Absolutely.
and so you can see who we really are. You're seeing us now, but I'd like you to see other parts of the family, the moms and the other daughters and son-in-laws and sons
Yes.
and whatever and grandkids and absolutely.
great. Well, thank you for joining us. We will see you next week.